Welcome. This is MortgageOut Spreadsheet, video tutorial number 1. My name is Jeffrey Smith. This is the MortgageOut spreadsheet. The term mortgage out or mortgaging out means buying a property below its intrinsic value and then over-financing that property so that you receive cash at closing. With these sample numbers, we can see that the subject property has a capitalized property value of $347,750. You negotiate a discount, in this case 20% off of the capitalized property value, and your purchase price is $278,200. And then you overfinance that purchase by 10%, so that when you close the deal, there's $27,820 or 10% above the purchase price remaining on the closing table, and that goes into your operating reserves. This is structured as two tranches of financing. There's a primary tranche and a secondary tranche. The primary tranche in this example is set at 64% of the capitalized property value, which is 80% of the purchase price. This is so you can use a private money lender that typically lend up to 65% of the actual property value, and the seller will carry the remainder in a junior tranche, either as an equity position in your owning LLC or as a seller carry note. The equity position would be preferred equity, therefore it's paid the same as if it were a loan and has no voting rights. This spreadsheet lets you specify the income and the expenses to calculate the net operating income. And then according to the cost and structure of this financing and your specified debt coverage ratio, the spreadsheet will then calculate the capitalized property value. Now you can specify a dollar amount that you want for cash out at closing, or a percentage of the purchase price that you want as cash out at closing. And then the spreadsheet will calculate how much the junior tranche must carry. There are other fields for other parameters to specify. It also calculates the blended financing for both of these tranches. And you can specify that you want the first position, the primary tranche, to be sold to a third-party note buyer, and you can specify the parameters for the note buyer. Typically, note buyers will only pay up to 65% of the total value of the transaction. Here, the sample value is 10% yield on the investment, and note buyers usually require a minimum discount of at least 5% off of the face value of the note. The spreadsheet calculates all the parameters. Most note buyers also require seasoning. They will not simultaneously table fund the transaction at closing of the purchase of the property and then buy the note. So at least one periodic payment after closing is required to season the note so that the note buyer does not look like a lender, but merely an asset buyer. You can specify different kinds of primary tranches. You can say you're bringing in a new loan under these parameters from a private lender, or you're asking the seller to refinance the property under these parameters. wraparound means the seller can refinance the property under better terms and then provide a wraparound loan to you under these parameters, and the seller will benefit from the difference in the monthly payments and the final balloon. The secondary tranche, as I said, is either preferred equity or a junior lien on the property. Many lenders now, for first position loans, will not allow a junior lien on the property. So the seller must be your joint venture financial partner and become a member of your LLC that will carry title to the property. And the cash out is the membership contribution that the seller is providing to your LLC. There are several mail merge templates for this spreadsheet. Once you have calculated the parameters that you want, you can click the Save CSV button to save the data as a comma-separated values text file for import into Microsoft Word mail merge. This is one of the templates. This is for a letter of intent for a commercial property. After we've loaded in the plain text file, we then go up to mailings, click preview results, and the values are filled in. In this example, it's a wraparound senior tranche. The values are specified here and the description of the loan is provided. The junior tranche is also described with a description, blended financing parameters, and all of the other boilerplate that goes into a letter of intent. You would then save this as a PDF file and then email it to the seller or to the listing broker as your risk-free offer to buy the property under these parameters. And you're showing exactly what the property can afford to pay according to the cost and structure of financing. Now I suggest that the minimum discount off of the capitalized property value is 20%. But you should start your negotiations with a greater discount, say 36%, below the capitalized property value. That gives you some wiggle room to negotiate up and yet still have some retained equity in the transaction, so that when you overfinance the transaction, the total financing down here in the blended is still less than the capitalized property value. This has been MortgageOut Spreadsheet video tutorial number 1. My name is Jeffrey Smith, and thank you for your support.